Hi everyone, greetings and salutations. I greet you well in the name of the Lord, and especially in this Advent going into Christmas season. I wish you every blessing for the season. Perhaps you have heard the saying that Jesus is the reason for the season. If you have, then perhaps you have wondered what exactly it means. You might have an idea, but perhaps like me you're wondering, what exactly does that mean? Well, it means that God sent Jesus into the world, and that during the season, remember that God sent a man called Jesus into the world for a special reason. And we need to find out what that reason is. The simple reason is that Jesus came to be the Savior of the world and the Lord of all. The Savior of the world, because the world is made up of people who need saving. Saving from what? And saving for what? Well, people need saving from selfishness, essentially. A selfishness that works itself out in all kinds of ways. In lying and stealing and killing and cheating, in murdering and backbiting, in being unfair and unjust and unmerciful and unforgiving. People can be selfish, you and I. And so we need saving from that, both from doing that and from being hurt by that. And so Jesus comes to show us a different way. What is the way? The way of love. God's love. God's love that puts the interests of others above our own, and it teaches us how to value others as we value ourselves. So God sent Jesus in the world to show us how to love. So Jesus, for instance, forgave those who hurt him, though he spoke up against their injustice and unfairness. God sent Jesus to provide and to share with others who were in need. God sent Jesus to help people who were weak, who couldn't help themselves, who were sick and needed healing. And God sent Jesus to show those who would follow Jesus, his disciples, his followers, to do the same. So God sent Jesus to give us love and to give us a hope for a better life, a life free from selfishness and self-centeredness. Now God knows that in this life too, as long as people are people, some people might not take the message. And so he wants people to look, turn to him and get the help, or perish. Because Jesus was sent to also show us about the life to come. The life to come. There's a life to come in. We perhaps forget that. We think that this life is all there is, but there is a life after life. And if we don't live the way we should live here on earth, then in that life, we will not receive the reward we should, but we receive eternal pain and punishment. And it will be the consequence of our own refusal to turn to God for help. In other words, our selfishness would have sent us there. This might not seem like a big deal to some people now, and they might say, how you know that? Well, listen, both people in the Bible and outside of the Bible who have reached death points or who have gone into near-death experience have come back and said they have seen places of bliss or places of torment. They have experienced pain when they knew their life was not going well, and they have received pleasure when they knew they were living for God. And so we have both from the experiences of others and the testimony of the saints and the witness of the Bible that there is a heaven and there is a hell after this. And the Lord doesn't want anybody to perish. He wants all to come to the knowledge of the truth and to receive eternal reward with him. And so Jesus comes to show us the way to eternal blessing and bliss, and not the way of eternal torment. To follow Jesus, therefore, is also good, not just for this life, but for the life to come. So what is it I want to say to everybody? I want us to say that this is important, that Jesus is the reason for the season. But in a real sense, it is our salvation that is the reason for the season. Jesus comes to give us that salvation. And the only question is, will we make room for him in our heart? we invite him to be the leader of our lives. We invite him to be the savior of our souls and to add to being the savior of the world. It's something that we should think about. So, family is good, food is good, festivities are good. But in a time when we can't have much of these things because of the current situation in the world, it perhaps is important for us to focus on the essential. What is the essential thing? Not just Jesus, but the salvation he comes to offer. So the next time you hear the phrase, Jesus is the reason for the season, think about it. He is the reason for every season, because he comes to give salvation to one and to all. Jesus comes for one, comes for all. Let's take him as our Lord. God bless you. Have a happy and blessed Christmas and a good New Year when it comes. The Lord be with you. Bye.